Hey everybody. Well, I just got back from Section G of the Great Divide Trail in Canada. And for those that don't know, Section G runs from Kakwa Lake Provincial Park all the way to Mount Robson, and it's approximately 230 kilometers. So I wanted to choose a shoe that I thought would go the distance. Now, I'm not a small guy. I'm 235 pounds. I'm 6'4". My pack weight's usually about 35 pounds. So, I'm in around the 260 pound range total. What intrigued me about the TOPO Traverse as advertised was that it was more of a hiking style shoe. It was marketed as very durable, drained really well, had a tight weave mesh as well, and so it was incredibly durable. And so I wanted to talk about the shoe and how, in my opinion, if you're hiking the Great Divide Trail, it's probably not a good shoe for our environment, and I'll talk through that. The biggest issue that I had with this shoe was that if you look at the lug pattern on this shoe, it's more of a blocky tread pattern. A lot of shoes today have moved away from this style and gone to more of a chevron style lug pattern. I think even though this is a Vibram sole, the chevron style lug patterns really grip a lot better than these block styles. I find especially for the Canadian Rockies, I find these quite actually slippery. And when you're descending, because the block pattern is the way it is, it gave away on the loose rock, as opposed to a lot of the modern shoes, more modern shoes today, like the Ultra Olympus is one. Even Speed Goat's gone to a chevron pattern. Even the Brooks Cascadia has gone to a chevron lug pattern, and it just seems to be a much better tread pattern for rocky, wet environments. It does have a rock plate in here, which in the forefoot, which I did really find helpful. There was a lot of rocks in the area, and roots and other things, and I did notice that from a level of protection. Now, looking at this shoe, it looks like it's gone 1,000 miles. In reality, I bought it a week before I left. Another thing also too is it has this, as it advertised, I guess it's a proprietary cup in the shoe. If you look at the angle of the shoe, the cup is actually angled quite forward as opposed to some other shoes. And I actually found that just wore away on my heel and my Achilles. And you'll see on this one here, it was so bad that I had to cut it to separate, just to relieve some pressure on the heel. Yeah, so I ran into lots of problems with the angle, this heel cup. It was just too stiff, and it really pushed on the back of my heel and my Achilles. So that really ended up hurting me. Another thing I wish, Topo would do is, get rid of this proprietary Gaiter attachment. It's like, I'm sure, Tony Post, you're not making all your money on these Gaiters and Gaiter attachments. So, just get rid of it. Go with a universal Velcro. Most Gaiters today, whether it's like a Dirty Girl Gaiter or some of the others, just have the Velcro. So, like, seriously, just get rid of that. Nobody's like seeking you out to buy your Gaiter. So I find this is quite useless. The biggest gripe that I have, and I'm going to show you, is that they call this the FKT insole. Okay. As you'll see, it completely disintegrated on me. It's a TPU bead, and I'm going to start pulling it apart now, because when we're done here, these shoes are going in the garbage. But as you'll see, these beads, and this advertises waterproof. It says right there, water resistant, high rebound foam. Okay. Well, as this got wet, these beads started to come apart. So if you're considering these shoes at all, and then you're just left with these holes in this insole. It's absolute garbage. I don't understand the thought around why you would think this is a good idea, but it completely came apart. You'll see that the lamination and all that completely started to disintegrate. And so I had to use Gorilla Tape just to keep this whole thing together. And again, these shoes only have 230 kilometers on them. They just completely started to fall apart. So I think if you are going to try these shoes, get rid of this garbage insole and invest in an aftermarket insole. But yeah, you'll see these started to wear away. And again, these beads are all coming apart. But anyways, that's kind of enough of trashing. One more comment. This D-loop here too, this D-loop is tiny. I actually had to use a pair of small pliers and crimp the little attachment on my Gaiter just to fit. So a lot of shoes today have a much larger D-loop. Ultra's another one of them. That's much more useful. So I ended up having to put the hook on right on here on the laces. So yeah, if you are thinking about this shoe, just be aware of it. There's a lot wrong as far as I'm concerned with design. I would not recommend the shoe for the Canadian Rockies. We do have a wet environment, a wetter environment. We have a very rocky and rooty environment as well. So I just honestly, is this a buy, a try, or a pass? You know, for me, after going through this, I think there's a lot better options. The only thing that I did like about this shoe is that it's got a wider toe box, and that's it. But other than that, this shoe for me is a total pass. So if you're thinking about the TOPO Traverse for your next adventure, I would exercise some caution. I think there's better shoes out there for the job. And that's it. Thanks for watching.